Fawcett had disappeared in the Amazon in 1925. He had taken his son with him, and he was looking for an ancient civilization that he had called simply and rather cryptically the City of Z. And then I learned that for decades, people would try to solve the mystery of what had happened to him or find this ancient civilization, and they too would perish of starvation, disease, or disappear. So that's just a little.
Do you think that they were interested in the story, in his story, because of him as a person, or more because of the possible gold at the end of the rainbow?
I think in each case it was different. I think each individual had different motives. I think, the amazing thing is after Fawcett disappeared, when the first rescue search party was announced in 1928, tens of thousands of Americans volunteered, and that's not including all the Europeans. And I read their actual letters when they wrote to various organizations, people saying, please take me. And these people were from every walk of life. And you got a real sense of their motivations. Some were rather funny and said, I have trouble in my marriage. This might be good for us. Yeah. But most of them were kind of drawn to the heroic quality of the story. A lot of them hope to become the Stanley to Livingston and to kind of find this man and garner the fame. And we're drawn to this kind of heroic quest that almost seemed mythical and something out of the past. And by 1925, when he disappeared and when this is going on in the 30s and 40s, there's something almost anachronistic about this quest that lured people. It was like something out of another century.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Well, it started in another century.
Yes, it did. That's right.
And one of the things that just absolutely fascinated me in the book is when you decided to do this, in terms of finding out where you were going, you Googled.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, going back to Percy's time, there was no Googling, of course, but beyond that, there were precious few maps.
Yeah.
And there were maps with shapes and then holes. I mean, there was nothing.
Right.
There was rivers. Are there rivers there? I don't know. Are there mountains?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, one of the amazing things, I actually have many of Fawcett's maps, which I collected during the course of my research. And in the area where he finally was heading off into the Brazilian Amazon when he disappeared in 1925, he has a couple rivers sketched showing kind of the area he was going. And then all around it, he has written the words unexplored and unknown. And one of the interesting things was Fawcett actually began exploring the Amazon in 1906. And he was sent there actually to map the interior of the Amazon. It was really this kind of large, last blank space on the map where people really did not know what that part of the world looked like. And just to give the listener some sense, when we're talking about the Amazon, we're not talking about a state the size of Delaware. We're talking about a wilderness area virtually the size of the United States.
Wow.
So it is just mammoth, and it had remained impenetrable for so long that even Brazil, Peru, and Bolivia, these countries, they didn't even know where their borders were in the interior of the Amazon, and they asked Fawcett to come in and map it, and that's how he started his expeditions.
Yeah, not to find gold or anything, but to make a map.